Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back, and I'd like to talk about a game I've been playing for the past few days, Enlisted. During the footage, you'll see some of my first few minutes in the game, and I've been playing the game for, I'd say, about 6-7 hours now, and I just want to kind of go over my thoughts. Some things that I think the developers could improve on, and where I think the game is doing well. Of course, I understand that this game is in its early access stages, but I feel it should be mentioned if the developers even watch this, where I think they can improve. Where I'd like to start off is, I'd like to start off with the good, because the game does do some pretty great stuff. Being someone who had to play a lot of free-to-play games back when I was younger, when I didn't have any money, this game is definitely something I wish I had when I was younger. It's World War II, it has pretty good history behind it, the guns feel good, and the game is very pick-up and playable. It's something that I feel people of all ages could pick up and join. The game queuing feels fast, it feels fluid, and whenever I get into a match with the squad system, I actually feel like the match is either full or at least there's some kind of action going on versus a very dead match if there's not a ton of people playing. And with that, you know, I constantly feel like there's some battle raging. I don't feel like I have to join. I have to look through the server list to feel like I'm actually playing the game. While the AI could use serious improvements and not just be dumb blind followers, it does do some better stuff than more AAA games where if you join a dead lobby, it's just dead. The game does feel alive, and I have to give some compliments to that. Again, I've already mentioned that the game is pick up and playable, and I appreciate that because I honestly hate doing the tutorial. When I pick up a game, I want to play the game. Make your tutorial easy, and for that, you have done that. It doesn't feel like there's a big barrier, like a 15 minutes when I first picked up the game. Like I have to wait another 15 minutes just to get through the tutorial just to play with my friends. No, I was able to pick it up, go, and the controls are simple, easy, and I love them. Where I think they could improve, however, where I think the developers could improve, is based off of a few things. The gameplay is good, the guns feel good and everything, but the camera feels very shaky. I don't tend to get motion sick in a game, but the camera feels way too sensitive to movement, and honestly feels like it's, I don't want to say on a momentum base, but when I'm moving, I feel like there's a second before my character starts running. And the problem is the camera reflects that too much, and it almost detracts from what the game could be. By this, I mean, the game feels like it could be a better Call of Duty World War II. If it had the snappy movement and the better camera, and where a camera didn't feel like it was too sensitive to every movement, I feel like the game could easily be a great free-to-play shooter. You know, it has great maps. The graphics are pretty freaking awesome for a free-to-play game. But where I think it could improve is building a snappier movement system, one more like a Call of Duty game at the moment, and less like a realism shooter when this game is clearly not trying to be a realism shooter. It takes some elements, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to pick one and go. This middle ground I don't think is helping, at least when I'm trying to figure out what kind of game it's supposed to be, and when it feels like kind of a Battlefield Warzone kind of FPS, I'd like it to behave like that. If you want it to be squad, then make it squad. But there's already plenty of games out there, and this is just my feelings. Where I think the game could also improve is you gotta help the AI. You gotta help the squads feel better. Because the thing about it is when I'm playing, I feel like I'm dealing with 3 tuttling idiots behind me. And the problem is that I can't command my squad to go hold a position. I can't, you know, constantly keep my eye on them when I'm trying to play an FPS game. Instead, what I think the AI could do is the AI could just be a bunch of NPCs trying to hold like a battle line, and that the players could be the people that could move in between it. Because if that's where this game's trying to go for a semi-realism, at least having like sets of AI hold one side of the bridge and then let the players kind of do whatever the fuck they want between that, I feel like that would be a lot better. Because the problem is when you're running around and you have a bunch of AI behind you, it doesn't feel like it adds to the game. In fact, it almost feels like it kind of makes the game cheaply easy. I appreciate that this game has a big dream, but this kind of squad stuff, just, it needs more to be fleshed out. I either need to be able to command the squad to be able to make them hold positions or attack here or go here, or they have to just be like NPCs in general that just exist already on the map and that the player doesn't have to control. Because the problem is that this middle ground is honestly kind of annoying in my opinion, because when the game feels like it's supposed to be this kind of Call of Duty-esque World War II shooter, unless I gotta control the squad, it feels like they're just a burden to me. And those are my initial thoughts on the game. Do I think this game could become easily a 9 out of 10? Absolutely. If the squad system's reformed, if the camera is a little less shaky and the movement system gets a little bit more snappy to something I would say like Apex today, easily this game could get a 9 out of 10. Easily. I really like the game so far, and the only reason why I'm bringing up these objections is because I do like it. I picked it up, and within my first 15 minutes I went, wow. If these things can be addressed, I think the game will do great. And one last thing that I feel that I need to mention. When I'm not in the game, when I'm in the main menu doesn't feel very intuitive. It feels like a bunch of little mini menus and clunky buttons. If you could somehow find a way to minimalize it, make it easier for just a average player just to get in, figure out what they got to do, and go, it would be a lot easier. I understand that there's a perk system. It's pretty cool, but it's got to be easier to look at. It has to be easier on the eyes. Switching between Axis and Ally commanders and everything, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Many games have done this kind of system, and the way that this is being attempted it just isn't working out for me. Outside of that, I like this game. I think it will do great, and I'm actually going to be doing some more videos on it here very soon. I can't wait to play it more. I can't wait to watch it improve, and if it comes out on release and fixes some of these problems, I would have no problem paying in a little bit of money. Outside of that, this is my very rookie level way of doing some analysis. I hope you appreciate it. I hope the developers maybe see it. And hey, if you agree with me or you disagree with me, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to subscribe, please do. I would always appreciate that as well. But outside of that, hey, I just hope you have a great day. Cheers.